Thank you, John. First off, I just would like to thank everyone for being here tonight to celebrate Stockton University Athletics and our Hall of Fame inductees. My name is Kevin Zuloff. I'm the head men's lacrosse coach here at Stockton. I had the privilege and honor of coaching Nick Bologno from 2012 to 2015. Talent alone does not get you here tonight. There has to be more. And for Nick, it starts with his family. Nick has two incredible parents, Ken and Jane, as well as two influential older brothers, Keith and Matt. All three brothers played here, and you can spot Ken and Jane at our games for 12 years in a row. Like I said, all three brothers played here. Having a Bologno on the team as a coach was always a good thing. When Keith and Matt played here, Nick would attend games with his parents, and he would come onto the field after the game to shoot around. You could tell right away that he was picking up the sport quickly, and he was benefiting from watching his brothers play. Nick was a very special and rare talent. From the first day to the last day, he was the best player on the team. Our opponents confirmed this by putting their best defender on Nick every game all 4 years. In his freshman season, we played the number 6 ranked team in the country, Stevens Tech. We lost 18-9. Nick had 3 goals and 1 assist. That day, he was covered by an All-American defender. After the game, the Stevens assistant coach came up to me and said, "Your freshman attackman made my All-American defender fall on his face." And he was referencing Nick's trademark change of direction move that was impossible to stop. So to see him do that to an All-American as a freshman was something that, as coaches and as players, it just gave us more confidence, knowing Nick was on our team. Nick made everyone around him better, coaches, players, everybody. He had vision and goal-scoring ability that was unmatched on the field. Our players knew if they got open, Nick would get them the ball. Nick was also very tough and a relentless competitor. One story I have sums up Nick's toughness and competitiveness. In his junior year, we went on the road to play Farmingdale State. Very good team, tough team. At the end of the first quarter, we're down 7-4, and Nick comes to me in the huddle and goes, "Coach, my elbow hurts." He was not complaining. He was just letting me know. I assumed he was hitting his elbow and he would be fine. We ended up losing the game 9-8 with 0.7 seconds left in overtime. Nick finished the game with 2 goals and 3 assists and a broken elbow. That's right. He played 3 quarters and overtime with a broken elbow. You cannot teach toughness. The next year, we played Farmingdale State at home. We were down 7-6 going into the fourth quarter, and we needed a win to clinch second place in the conference and a home semifinal game. Luckily, this was a better ending for Nick that day, as he now set the record for most points in a career in that game. And what made it even more special was Rory McPeak, who's a fellow Hall of Famer, was Nick's high school coach, and he was at the game to see Nick break the record. So it was very, very special. The next game was the semifinals, home against Kane. We won 17-11, and Nick had an incredible performance with 2 goals and 7 assists. We clinched a spot in the conference finals for the first time in program history, and Nick also set the record for the most assists in a season. As you have heard, Nick earned a lot of accolades in his time here. All 4 years, Nick led our team in scoring, and all 4 years he was an all-conference player, twice second team, twice first team. He was the 2015 Skyline Conference Player of the Year, the first in program history. He was a USILA Honorable Mention All-American, the second in program history. His record of 288 career points stood until 2022. In single-season rankings, Nick is 3rd in assists, 9th in goals, 7th in points. In career rankings, Nick is 3rd in assists, 4th in goals, and 3rd in points. And for his final accolade, please help me welcome Nick Bologno to the Stockton University Athletics Hall of Fame.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Coach Zuloff, for the intro, and for all of you that came out tonight. I also want to thank the Stockton Athletic Department and John Heck for working with all of us to prepare for this special night. As Coach Zuloff mentioned, I'm Nick Bologno, and I graduated from Stockton in 2015. I'm extremely honored to be up here tonight. I also want to congratulate Jared, Sasha, and the 1985 softball team on their achievements. For those of you who don't know, so my speech will probably be a little redundant after Kevin's, but I'm just going to go ahead and read it. For those of you that don't know, I happen to be the third Bologno to attend Stockton and play lacrosse, as both my brothers played here. Keith, my oldest brother, played with Coach Zuloff, and Alec Chisholm, my other assistant coach, and Chris Camarada, my other assistant coach, when they were on the team. And Matt played on the first team that Zuloff coached here at Stockton, so there's definitely a little history here. After going to all my brother's games over the years, it was inevitable that I would attend Stockton. Not only did I enjoy coming to watch my brothers play, I liked the school, but I also was fortunate enough to know the late Dick Ricks very well, the former coach here at Stockton. He also made me feel very welcome after the games, asking how I was doing with lacrosse, and genuinely a great guy. Growing up here, it was tough to pick a sport that I wanted to focus on because all sports were appealing to me, whether it was football, basketball, or baseball. In 5th grade, I started playing organized lacrosse, and I really enjoyed it. I was lucky enough to have one of my best friend's dad as our coach, Rich Prokopchek. He was not only an outstanding coach and person in many ways, his knowledge for the game is unmatched. He taught me the ins and outs of the game, several techniques, and ways to just be most effective on the field. Rich had a decorated career as a player and a coach. He was an All-American defender for Rutgers. He was recently inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame, and he played with one of the greatest names in the sport, John Danowski. And for those of you that don't know, John Danowski coaches Duke University, and he's just like an icon. But with that said, Rich had a huge impact on my development as a player and a person, simply with how he emphasized the importance of practice and the work ethic you put in off the field. I really can't thank him enough for all that he's done for me, and I just want to thank him while I'm up here. Another childhood coach of mine I would like to thank is Coach Bob Barnett, one of the most down-to-earth guys you'll ever meet, and a great coach. Even though we were young and immature, he always made sure that none of us were fooling around on the field, and that's something I appreciate to this day. So once I got to North Hunter in high school, I was able to develop my game further by playing all year round and just focusing on lacrosse. Between travel ball, freshman year, to starting varsity as a sophomore, I felt like that gave me a little chip on my shoulder by playing against some of the best kids in the state. I would like to recognize my coaches from high school as they were an integral part of my growth as a player. Steve DiLorenzo, who was my freshman year coach and also coached my brothers at Voorhees High School. So I went to a different high school than my brothers for a better reason, but I'm just going to leave it at that. So Rob Donnelly and Rory McPeak, as Coach Zuloff mentioned, as Rory McPeak and Rob Donnelly were both my varsity coaches over the 3 years. Like Zuloff said, Rory attended Stockton and had a wonderful career here. He also was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2018, so I'm glad that I'm able to join him. When I broke the record for most points in Stockton history, it was Rory's record that I broke, and he was at the game. That was a special moment for me that I could share with him. We both played the same position, and I benefited from his experience and knowledge of the game. As Rory said to me, records are meant to be broken, and shortly after my time here, Luke Swedlin and Dante Bowl both passed me on that list, so congrats to them on their dominant career. I want to start out this part as a huge thank you to my Stockton family. I could not have asked for a better group of guys to spend all 4 years with. I would not be standing up here today if it wasn't for my teammates, and I really mean that. There's a lot more that goes into it than just practicing and spending countless hours together on the field, but to have a huge group of guys to fall back on is just an awesome feeling. As much as I would like to talk about them individually up here, they all gave me the opportunity to succeed. Whether it was pushing me in practice, working together in games to get the win, or just bonding with one another in our free time. Not only are they my former teammates, some of which are here today, thank you for coming, but they are friendships that I cherish to this day. I also would like to do a special shout out to my assistant coaches during my 4 years here, Chris Camaretta, Alec Chisholm, and Noah Morris. And now I would like to thank the one and only Kevin Zuloff. I knew Kevin since 2008 when he played with Keith, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching them play together, as they were extremely crafty, fundamental players, and complemented each other very well. As a kid, I wanted to be running the offense just like they did. Since Kevin has taken over the program, he has done an exceptional job from top to bottom. From where the program was when he started coaching to where it is now, he has truly taken this lacrosse team to another level. I really can't say enough good things about Kevin, as he's extremely personable, an intelligent guy, and an all-around spectacular coach, and all his former and current players can attest to that. I always look forward going to practice and picking his brain, as we also play the same position. Over the years, as a player and an alumni, I see the amount of work he puts into this program, and it's really paid off. Thank you, Kevin, for everything, as you made my time here at Stockton very enjoyable. Last but not least, the biggest thank you to my family, my parents, Jane and Kenny, and my brothers, Matt and Keith. My brothers were the best role models I could ever ask for. It wasn't always the easiest growing up as the youngest, as I often got myself in trouble with them. But I believe it was for the best. What I mean by getting in trouble is them roughing me up and picking on me, but hey, that's what big brothers are for. I'm sure they will find a way to make fun of me after this speech. They made me tougher as a person, always guided me in the right direction, and always went to them for advice. I value both of their friendships of them equally and can always count on them to be there for me. Last but not least, my mom and dad have showed an endless amount of support throughout my life with sports and everything else, but not only with me, for my brothers as well. They are my true heroes and made me the person I am today. I couldn't be more thankful to have the best parents ever. They didn't miss many games, and even when we played Arcadia in negative 10-degree weather. I always look forward to seeing them after our game, whether it was a win or loss. The commitment they showed is something I will never forget, and what I strive to be as a parent one day. By taking time out of their day to drive me to all my practices, tournaments, and providing me with everything I needed to be successful in this sport. I really can't thank my parents enough, because I owe them everything. As I stand here tonight, I still can't believe I'm receiving this honor, and truly grateful to be recognized as part of the Stockton community. And thank you all again for coming out, and thanks to everyone that had an impact on me as a person and an athlete. Go Ospreys.